In the final year of his life, Henri Rousseau painted a vision that seemed to exist outside of time. A jungle filled with moonlight and music, a reclining nude, serene amid impossible foliage. Elephants, lions, and snakes moved in a lush dreamscape that defied logic and lived entirely in the imagination. This was the dream, Rousseau's last great work and his most ambitious. Completed in 1910, just months before his death, it would become not only a culmination of his life's work, but also a portal into his strange, enchanting world. Measuring over 2 meters in height and nearly 3 in width, The Dream is the largest of Rousseau's celebrated jungle paintings, and within its vast canvas unfolds a world both surreal and symbolic. On the left, a nude woman reclines on a red velvet divan. Her name is Jadwiga, or Jadwiga, a nod to Rousseau's Polish lover from his youth. She lies fully exposed, yet strangely at peace, in an environment that bears no trace of the civilized world. Around her stretch thick, stylized plants with impossible symmetry. A snake slithers through the undergrowth. A lion and lioness crouch in watchful stillness. Monkeys peer through the leaves. An elephant lumbers in the distance, and emerging from the shadows is a mysterious figure. A black snake charmer, barely visible, holding a flute to his lips, playing a silent, hypnotic tune under the light of a full moon. Rousseau was no trained botanist, but he had studied nature carefully. The fantastical plants were inspired by visits to the Jardin des Plantes in Paris and its Natural History Museum. Yet the jungle he created is not a study in scientific realism. It is the architecture of a dream. The forms are decorative, deliberate, more imagined than observed. The entire painting feels suspended between reality and reverie. Rousseau sensed that some viewers might not understand this strange tableau. And so, for The Dream, he composed a poem, a lyrical key to the visual riddle. Jadwiga in a beautiful dream, having fallen gently to sleep, heard the sounds of a reed instrument, played by a well-intentioned charmer, as the moon reflected. On the rivers, the verdant trees, the wild snakes lend an ear to the joyous tunes of the instrument. This was his vision. A woman, perhaps asleep in Paris, dreaming of music in a jungle. A dream within a painting, a metaphor made flesh. Despite its dreamlike quality, The Dream draws from a long tradition of art. The reclining nude echoes images stretching back to Titian's Venus of Urbino, through Ingres and Manet's Olympia. Yet Rousseau's version is entirely his own. Where earlier artists placed their nudes in luxurious boudoir or mythic settings, Rousseau sends his figure into a lush, untamed wilderness, at once sensual and spiritual. During the time he painted it, Rousseau was romantically involved with a shop assistant named Léonie. Some see her influence in the calm, confident gaze of the nude. Others trace inspiration to Émile Zola's novel Le Rêve, a story of love between a painter and an embroideress. But perhaps the real muse was the dream itself. A state of mind, a suspension of disbelief, a longing for wonder. When The Dream was first exhibited at the Salon des Indépendants in March of 1910, Rousseau was no stranger to ridicule. Earlier jungle paintings had been dismissed, mocked even, but this time the tone shifted. The poet and critic Guillaume Apollinaire, a staunch defender of modern art, wrote, "The picture radiates beauty that is indisputable. I believe nobody will laugh this year." It was a moment of vindication for an artist who had long walked alone. Tragically, Rousseau would not live to enjoy the full embrace of the art world. He died on September 2, 1910, just months after the exhibition closed. Yet The Dream had already begun its journey, from curiosity to masterpiece. French art dealer Ambroise Vollard purchased the painting in February 1910. From there, it crossed the Atlantic, sold through the Knoedler Galleries in New York to the prominent collector Sidney Janis in 1934. In 1954, Janis sold it to Nelson A. Rockefeller, who donated the painting to the Museum of Modern Art in New York to mark the institution's 25th anniversary. Today, it remains one of MoMA's treasures, a luminous, enigmatic canvas that continues to inspire. The dream is more than Rousseau's last work. It is a farewell, a culmination, a whisper from another realm. It invites us to lie back, close our eyes, and travel inward, into memory, fantasy, and myth. The woman on the divan is not just dreaming, she is the dream. And through Rousseau's gentle brush, we are invited to share it.